Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another, I was going to say review, but this is actually a commentary this time. It was a paid request from Julie. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of commentaries, topics, reactions, re-reviews, reviews, randomness, out of the blueness, what have you, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Child's Play 2. So let's get right into it. I have a pause at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. So we have the Universal logo going throughout the years, because this was on around the anniversary of Universal Pictures, so a lot of their films at this time had showcasing the various different logos. I think it'll say 75th anniversary. Now, the first Child's Play was with MGM. And United Artists, mainly United Artists. Yeah, 75th. The reason this is a Universal was there was a brief time when United Artists and MGM and such, they thought they were just going to do family-friendly stuff. We want to be more of a family-friendly company. Thus, they gave the rights to Universal. Well, that didn't last long, so I'm sure they regretted it, because these films were low budgets and they made a little bit of money. And this was 1990, so about 2 years after the first film. It takes place after the first film, so as we see, Chucky has been burnt here. I'm not sure if it's supposed to take place 2 years after, or how much longer it's supposed to take place. Maybe, I can't remember exactly the time frame. But of course, the first Child's Play was a hit, so felt like that makes money. Try to do a sequel, and this time you got John LaFia, who is a director that has passed away since then. John LaFia also directed a few years later Man's Best Friend, about the killer dog. Lance Henriksen was in it. And, John LaFia, these are, the two films I remember him, this one and that one, they're pretty decent. This one I would say I like more. And I think it's a very worthy sequel. It's a very worthy sequel. I've always maintained that the only good Child's Play films are the ones that actually say Child's Play. 1, 2, 3, and the reboot. Bride, Cult, Curse, Seed. I'm not a fan of any of those. I think Cult and Curse, I think, are two ones, as well as Seed. I don't like them at all. I don't like the direction they went in. I don't care for Don Mancini, the fucking Fettuccine's direction, where he took the story. I'm just not a fan of it. Even if there's humor involved, but they're still trying to take it a bit seriously, and then Mancini tried to do their Curse of Chucky. A lot of people liked it. I did not. I thought it was really lame. I thought it was a very boring story. Like this, John LaFia, I think, does a decent job. Maybe not as stylish, but like some of the death scenes. Like the one guy that gets his eyeballs exchanged, and the way that's set up and the different angles. I love the idea, to give Don Mancini some credit, because he helped write the film. The whole ending in the warehouse with all the toys and the boxes and boxes of Good Guy Doll toys in this maze. Again, interesting to have. Interesting for the finale. Nice location. Sorry, I'm listening to the dialogue to see how long it's been. I mean, it's kind of sad storyline wise, that, you know, Andy Barkley is now in child services. The mom is for under psychiatric evaluation. The I know originally it was going to have the cop Chris Sarandon come back. I guess he was going to have a small role, but I guess they didn't have the money, and they just, nah, we'll just cut that out, which I don't know why you would cut that out. That would seem important. That's probably the only good thing I could say about Curse of Chucky. Was it Curse of Chucky that did it? At the very end, Andy Barkley grown up, he's talking to his mom. Hey, how's Chris Sarandon's character? I forget his name. I shouldn't. I think Mike, like, how's he doing? Okay, it showed that things worked out. That's the only merit I would give that film. Only merit. And then we'll use Andy Barkley for the next one. He's smoking weed with a Chucky head, who's also smoking weed. Even at this point, Chucky's ready to kill people. I don't know why you would want to rebuild using the actual body. I This is a question in the script that makes you go, why don't you just melt it, dump it, and you could pick any fucking doll and say, this is the same one. They all look the same. I mean, I understand studying it, studying the... Again, that's a pretty cool shot. Nice slow motion, going through the glass in a tilt-a-whirl. That's a pretty neat looking shot. Kudos to the stunt person going out the window like that. Nice idea of using it in slow-mo. But yeah, it's one of those ideas that I go, okay, I understand looking at the doll to see, did anyone mess with the tape, the recordings, almost like an autopsy. But then to just recreate it and rebuild it from the same body and skeleton of it, that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, well, we don't know how else to do it for a sequel, so this is how we're doing it. Again, I find that's a bit weird when you think about it. Like, again, you could just melt the fucking thing, throw it away in the trash, get a new doll, if that's what you wanted to do. I don't know. It's nice to see Alex Vincent again as Andy Barkley. As a child actor, he does a very nice job. He's not irritating. He's not annoying. Sadly, I would say he's a better child actor than a grown adult actor. Because his acting in the little bit in Curse, which was fine, it was only like a few lines. But then in Cult, it wasn't that good. I hate to say it. It's nice to see him again. He's kind of dry and wooden. Again, he seemed a lot more natural as a kid. Stick up your ass. That's funny, like, you took all this time to rebuild the doll, and then you're just like, stick it up your ass. And it's like... And they kind of do it again in part 3. Like, they rebuild it again in part 3. It's like they couldn't think of any other ideas. Now here we have Jenny Agutter and Garrett Graham, actors I've seen in other movies. I think Jenny Agutter was in American Werewolf in London, I believe. I should know that. Garrett Graham, I've seen him in quite a bit of stuff. Of course, nothing comes to mind, because when I do these commentaries, my mind just gets fried for some reason. Now you see, unlike that fucking movie Mighty years later, these guys are going to adopt this kid, and she actually tells them what happened. Unlike the fucking parents in Mighty, who get this little kid, and now I'm not going to tell you that he was with a family who was murdered. I ain't going to say shit about that. What the fuck? But at least this makes a bit more sense. All these foster parents are kind of shitty, especially the dad. He's a complete utter fucking asshole. Even from Men in One, he's like, why did we have to... Then you shouldn't have adopted the fucking kid. Should not have done the fucking first place. But yeah, it's sad that you don't have Catherine Hicks in the movie, who's the mom. I mean, I guess she's like, nah, I don't want to do it. Which is ironic because she was going out with the effects guy, Kevin Yeager. Catherine Hicks and Kevin Yeager became a thing after the first movie. So she would visit the set a lot to see her husband work. So again, it was funny that she's not in the film, but she was on set of the film. It's always tough for me to choose which is my favorite Child's Play. I think in the past I've said this one. But I mean, the first one, I would say the first one has a better cast. You got Catherine Hicks, you got Chris Sarandon. But this one definitely has the bigger body count. And the effects are fine in the first movie. They're definitely improved in this one. Like when Chucky is walking, he's got the ruler. Very solid stuff. Like, they really amped up the effects in that 2-year span. And it does feel like this had a bigger body count and a bit more inventive deaths. And the finale is pretty cool, like I said, in the toy, like the warehouse. I would say it's a worthy sequel. Again, it's hard for me to... I like all three. Yes, I like the third one. I think the third one is underrated. I don't think the third one's as bad as people make it out to be. I think Child's Play 3 is actually pretty damn good. I like the military base idea. I like... What's his name? Who plays the older Andy? Did a really good job. I don't know why I do these commentaries and the names always escape me. I'll get used to him. Even he's being nice, he's a dickhead. Such a fucking dickhead. But this is another big plus. Christine Elise, who plays the Kyle, I believe is her name. Always bad with names. She's really good in this. I think they did a nice job with her character where this kind of behavior, it could very much lead to someone being bitchy, annoying, irritating, but number one, she's a good looking lady. Number two, she's a pretty damn decent actress. And number three, they actually make her character have kind of an arc in a way where she starts believing Andy Barkley and then starts wanting to protect him, wanting to help him out. And actually do something with the character. Holy shit. So she's not just a one-note bitch who hates men and shit that they would write for a character today. Now, once again, like, these parents, I think, are the worst step-parents. Like, okay, the stepdad doesn't even want this kid for adoption. I'll get used to him. And then like, you know what the fuck this kid went through with a Chucky doll, and you have a fucking doll in the closet. You don't think, we have that doll at home. Maybe I should take that the fuck out so that I don't give this kid fucking PTSD. Like, for fuck's sake. Like, up there, I know that's the doll. wasn't even running that fast, you jerkwad. Fuckhead. He wasn't even running that fast. It's hard to keep track. You fucking know that the kid went through this. You think that wouldn't come into your fucking head? It's the biggest toy in there. Biggest toy in the fucking room. Doll's almost big as the kid. The worst step-parents ever. Foster parents, whatever you want to call it. Step-parents is wrong. Foster parents is what I meant. Let me see if I can reach my fucking phone. And when this film came out, it did decent. I think it debuted #1 at the box office. It made a bit of money. Probably not as much as the first one, but it still made a profit to the point that they rushed out a sequel a year later in '91 with Child's Play 3, which Don Mancini's like, this is the worst Child's Play. I'm like, no, you directed the worst Child's Plays. The ones, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky. You have no room to talk shit about Child's Play 3, Don Fettuccini. Yeah, this guy thinks he's going to get laid. The only person he's going to get laid with is the Grim Reaper. He's going to be dead as fuck. Chucky's going to suffocate his ass. And, you know, nice in bringing back Brad Dourif as the voice of Chucky, because Brad Dourif really makes the character work. He... very underrated actor. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Even in bit parts he's played in Stephen King's Graveyard Shift, body parts. Like, this guy made a lot of movies work well, and it's sad there's not a lot that he got to star in particular as a good guy, which is a shame. 5.9 IMDb, I would give it a bit higher than that. I mean, the director has some decent angles, like this up close to the phone, which Treasure's going to use to get the info he needs. And pretty smart, like Brad Dourif uses his nice tone on the voice. That's what I mean, like right there showcase, wow, the effects on has really improved since the first one. Just how like natural Chucky is moving. Very solid effects work. Yeah, Jenny Gutter, the foster mom, she was in American Wolf in London. Logan's Run, I forgot about that. And Garrett Graham, was he Bud in Bud the Chud? Now that I think about it. Chud 2. Fuck yeah. Chud 2, Bud the Chud, and he was Bud. How the fuck did I remember that shitty movie? He was in The Annihilators, action film from the 80s. Oh yeah, he was in Choppy Mall. He was one of the technicians that got killed early on. Martians Go Home, for all who remember that classic. Stewart Saves His Family. Philadelphia Experiment 2. Sidekicks with Chuck Norris, I believe. I didn't look at the facial movements and articulation. Like the creature effects, the animatronic work. Man, they did a great job maneuvering Chucky. Like I said, it definitely developed in the 2 years since the first one. Okay. It made $35 million on a budget of $13 million. Came out November 1990. I'm trying to remember who the hell this guy is. This is a water gun, right? Just like how did he get a water? How did he get a gun? Yeah. I didn't like. You get to the face. In 1990, this is how good it looks, and then you see how shitty it looks in the Don Mancini films he directed, especially Curse and Cult. Like, look at this, like the way he strengthened his eyes and the delight he has in it, and like just a lot of emotion showcasing on it. I'm sure this was good for the MPAA because it's a bloodless kill. Grace Zabriskie, she plays the woman that Chucky was talking on the phone with, the one who ran the foster care. She was in Sarah Palmer and Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Was she Sarah Palmer in the TV show? I'm not a Twin Peaks guy. Sorry, 1 second. Where the hell? Yeah, she was Sarah Palmer on the TV show. Was that's a... I do... No, that's an important character on Twin Peaks. A lot of puppeteers for the doll, but they made it work. They made it work fairly well. United Artists purchased the script to the original Child's Play because United Artists president Tony and UA-MGM Communications Chairman Lee Rich believed they had the potential for multiple sequels. It was set to begin filming in October '89. UA President Richard Berger told producer David Turcher that the film was put on hold as the studio was about to be acquired by the Australian group Quintex, whose director intended to ban the studio from producing horror films. Australian group Quintex. The fuck is Quintex? Financial services company. Okay. Media, hotels, retail. Okay. That obviously didn't work out. Paramount, Warner Brothers, Columbia Pictures, Fox, Carolco, New Line Cinema, Walt Disney Studios, Universal expressed interest. Universal won the bid after Steven Spielberg assisted David Turcher to convincing Universal's Sid Sheinberg to accept it. Originally, the film was intended to open with a courtroom scene of a jury sentencing Catherine Hitt's character to a mental institution for insisting that Chucky was alive. Catherine Hitt and Chris Sarandon were intended to reprise their roles as Karen and Detective Mike Norris from the first film. However, their scenes were cut from the scripts because of budgetary constraints, and as a result of their omission, the film is much shorter than the other installments in the series. Huh. It would also contain a scene where Chucky's remains were held in a police evidence locker alongside Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers' mask, idea reused in Bride of Chucky. November 6, 1989, $12 to $13 million budget. Shot in Universal Studios lot in California. Brad Dourif recalled all of his dialogue in advance so that puppeteers can work on the facial movements. Brian Revell did the score, and the only film he had done before this was Dead Calm. And then there was a novelization on this, and in the novelization, the writer added more story. Chucky is terrorized to have an absent father and his abusive mother being a dwarf. Okay. Chucky got teased a lot because he strangled his mother to death. Chucky was put in special classes when he was younger. Well, I mean, that was only... The guy added it to the novelization. Open number 1. Opening gross of $10 million. $35.8 million. Oh, worldwide. So $28 million in the U.S. 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. Although it got an A- on Cinema Score. A vicious, ugly little thriller. The original was a terrific, one-of-a-kind thriller, but the sequel is an all-out horror film. Why is that a bad thing? Handsomely produced, but morbid and not in the least amusing to watch. Morbid? It's not as, just as morbid as the first one. I mean, this does have a Blu-ray, but sadly, there's no features. I know Stream Factory wanted to do special editions of Child's Play 2 and 3, but Universal are assholes. Fucking dicks. Justin Whalen, he played the older Andy Barkley in Part 3, which I thought did a good job. Again, this guy's like, then just take him back to the fucking thing if you're so goddamn worried about Andy Barkley. Mr. Asshole. Bud the Chud. I might as well just call him Bud the Chud. That's what the fuck he is. And Chud too. It's not the actor's fault, it's the way it's written, but God, such a, maybe that's, that's supposed to be the point. Such an fucking asshole. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. I think the movies purposely make him such an asshole, which is why he just killed early on and satisfying. Which one of the better lines, how's a hand and Phil? But I mean, with their script, that's why they had a Chucky doll there, because that way Chucky can hide in plain sight. And you have the bit where he destroys the previous one, hides it. That also leads to later where Christina Lease, as Kyle, finds out there's something else going on. So it makes sense why there's a doll there. It's just the way Andy finds out just makes the foster parents seem a bit dumber. Just my opinion. But I mean, they are pretty fucking dumb, so what I'm expecting. I mean, Jenny Gutter's not that bad. The character I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the actors. Wow, look at this one fresh pile of dirt and everything else is green. Like everybody else, everywhere is green, 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 and this one weird pile of dirt. Where did this come from? We did a bit of character development for Christine's character. So you understand more of where she's coming from. And she's not treating Andy like shit. And kind of an interesting way of doing a suspense scene where, like, well, Chucky get found out. Maybe you should not have buried it under the fucking swing, dickhead. By the way, how did you bury it without noticing the swing that's right above it? Like, think about it, this swing would be right above where he dug. Like, he didn't dig anywhere else. Like, look at the whole fucking yard. You would think he would have dug somewhere else. Except right above the swing that someone could use. Like, look at all that fucking backyard. Chucky, why didn't you dig in one of those fucking places? Because it's convenient. When he was digging, was there a fucking swing? I'd have to rewind to look again. And Chucky's pretty stupid to bury it right there, right above the swing that's like 2 feet up. Maybe he wants to get caught, I don't know. Oh, this is the scene coming up that again just dumbfounds me. I like the build up to it. Chucky, ties him up. Again, I love the effects. I cannot praise them enough. It really makes Chucky seem alive. I would say this is the film that they did the best work effects-wise on Chucky. Also, the posters, I think it does have the best poster. Sorry, Jack, Chucky's back. He's ready to cut the head off the Jack in the Box. I do think that's the best poster for Chucky. And like I say, it would be nice to see special editions of these two films, but Universal won't let that happen. Nope, we're going to release Blu-rays of ourselves and they're bare bones. I don't even know if this has a trailer. But what I was saying before is that the characters think Andy did the... Well, the foster parents think Christine did it. But then Christine's like, why did you do this? How the fuck are you going to tie yourself? I don't even know how the fuck... Like, if I'm going to tie myself, I wouldn't even know how to do it. I wouldn't even know how to do it. I guess you tie your legs, your arm, then how about your other arm? That'd be pretty fucking hard to do, especially for a little kid. Of course, here you have the stuff that takes forever to say and forever to fucking speak. And because he's in a new body, then he can do this. Fine, how about this? How about I was like, okay, I'll kill him. I'm going to stab him. I'm going to burn him. Why not just do that? Like, seriously, like, this movie could be over right now. It's like, okay, you want me to kill him? Fine. We'll come to the room. I'm going to take a knife. I'm going to show you that he won't do anything. Bam, 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 bam. Then he would freak out. Oh, shit. We have a different kind of movie. Again, really nice work by Kevin Yeager and his team. Aged salad sandwich? Nah. Aged salad. No thanks. Give me a chicken sandwich. Give me a hamburger. Or hamburglar. Again, anytime Jared Graham just seems like a fucking dick. Not the actor, but the character. Yeah, make fun of the kid with the the mental problems, as you think. We know it's not, but again, like these people. Well, why the fuck would she believe you? I mean, would you believe a killer doll? I mean, it's hard for anybody to believe that shit. If you think about it, if I went up to you and said there's a killer doll, would you believe me? Fuck you, kid. Smash your head through the fucking glass. Drag you behind the bus. Tell you nothing. Pick you up, kick you through a field goal while it's on fire. How about that, kid? I think that's an interesting reveal shot of Chucky under the bus. And it's also interesting to have this kind of, well, the first two films, where your lead is a little kid. And it's a little kid who people think are paranoid, are nuts, crazy, when he's just, telling the truth. And just no one will believe him. And then Chucky is just a fucking troll asshole, fucking Andy over. Which in essence is kind of a smart idea to be like, I'm going to make it so that he's going to stay after school. That's a way for me to get him by himself. Like, what else he's going to do? Hide in the bathroom? Hope Andy needs to take a piss. This is fucking kid again. Chucky should kill his ass. Yes, you are boring me. I'm bored as fuck. No, I'm not. This is a good movie. It's short, too. It's only an hour and 23 minutes. Yeah, it's only an hour and 23 minutes. We're already 34 minutes in, so can't do math. I mean, less than an hour left, like 50 minutes left. Plus end credits. See, that's where Andy get fucked over. He gets fucked over. I mean, technically anyone could have taken his paper and done it. Hey, you're not allowed to touch the kid or they'll sue you. Sue your ass. Yeah, your ass is grass. I don't put my head down. Put your head up your ass. Are you really allowed to lock doors like this? Like, what if there's a fire? I don't think you're really allowed to lock doors like that in the school, but maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, Chucky's an asshole. Again, this is what I'm like. The director does have some interesting shots in him. Like the camera angle when Chucky's walking up to the teacher to kill her. The low angle here, the reveal through the keyhole. Pretty neat idea. It's a nice reveal. I think Chucky says peekaboo. There you go. Like, that's a cool reveal. And Brad Dourif does a great job as the voice. Like, he's being really kind. I promise I won't kill anyone else. Now open the fucking door. Let me out, you little dick. Brad Dourif, I mean, I know they're doing a Chucky TV series, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. Because Don Mancini's part of it. And Don Mancini, the way he writes, he's fucking in love with Jennifer Titties. I just don't care. Don't care. I don't care. I like the Child's Play reboot. I like that it tried to be a different story. I liked what it was trying to do. I appreciated the difference. I appreciated that Chucky was kind of more... He loved and supported Andy and then felt betrayed. I thought that made it a bit different. Almost like a Chucky meets single white female. Single male. I thought that was interesting. Now, granted, just because you do something different doesn't automatically make it good. But I'm open to it. Despite what some people think, I'm open to it. Hell, I love Jason Goes to Hell. Just by part 9, I'm like, you know, I'm fine with part 9 doing some different shit. I'm okay with it. What does he hit her with? It's like a pump thing, or is it a... What is it? I think it's up here. You know, I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's a pump, like, for the basketball. See, this is a great shot. More than likely, they probably wires right behind them, probably maybe to the wall. Like, that's a great angle. Idea probably good for the MPA because you don't see, you just see the reaction and... So again, it's not a gory film when you really look at it. It's not a gory flick, which is interesting. But you guys know that this kid went through a bunch of shit. Oh my god, just either bring him back or leave him the fuck alone. Or get a fucking actual psychiatrist, you know. Of course Chucky's down because he's smart. He's not a dumbass. He's not a dumbass. But then just take him back to the goddamn thing. I mean, Jared Graham, he's being a dick, but at least he's being honest. I mean, he's being a dick, but again, he's being honest about it. I'm like, yeah, yeah, it would help him to send him back. Because Chucky's already there. But in Christina Lee's scenes like this is what make her character likable. You know, she can understand, she can relate to it. You'll be okay. You know, yeah, look out for yourself, like she's had to do for years. Literally dozens different families, as she says. I mean, it's a weird pep talk, but it's kind of an understanding pep talk where at the end of the film, he does have to take care of Chucky. Christina Lee's helps, but a lot portions of it he's got to take care of himself. There's the point that she gets knocked out, he's got to save her, and like compared to the first one, he did burn Chucky up, but it was mainly Catherine Hicks that ended everything. While here, I guess you could say it's both of them that do it. And the thing with the 90s, sorry, I don't know why I blanked out there. Because I forgot about this scene, that's why. I forgot that he got this and tried to cut up Chucky. I think this leads to Jared Graham's death, I believe. But I was saying in the 90s, so many people talk about how bad it was for the horror genre. Now, if you're talking box office wise, sure. But movie wise, I love a lot of the 90s horror films. Now, maybe people say that's nostalgic because by the time I'm 7 years old, it's 1990. And 7 years old is when I really am understanding movies and how movies, what they are, that type of stuff. It seems like around 6 or 7, understanding a bit of the world. And the first couple years, it's a blur. But I don't understand how people remember when they were in the crib and remember when they were 2 days old or 3 years old. I'm like, how? I barely remember anything when I'm 7. But I look at throughout that decade, 1990, I can name The First Power, Exorcist 3, Child's Play 2, Predator 2, Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. I can name throughout the 90s. I like Death Machine. I like Body Parts. I like John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness, and what was the other Vampires. I liked Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I liked Scream. I liked The People Under the Stairs. I like a lot of the horror films. Creature features like Deep Rising and The Relic, and even Dr. Diggles I enjoyed. there's this little known creature feature called Aberration from 90, I think it's like 97 or something. Another one I liked. And the list goes on. All the way to 1999 where I liked Stir of Echoes, I liked the Blair Witch Project, House on Haunted Hill remake, I liked Event Horizon. And you go through each of the years, I'm like, well, I like that movie, and I like that movie, and I like that movie. So, yeah, people keep saying the 90s is such a bad year for horror. I like Jason Goes to Hell. I like Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, as goofy as it is. Jason Goes to Hell, I don't think it's as bad as people make out to be. I'm sorry. For Friday the 13th Part 9, I think it has more story than a lot of the other sequels. Like, you compare the two, that has more story to it than Part 2, or Part 3, or even Part 4. And I like Part 2, 3, and 4, but I'm just saying. And even, Child's Play 2, I like Child's Play 3. So I just never understood the bad rap that the 90s got with horror. Never understood it. Never have, never will. And again, it's interesting that you have this type of film where the lead is this, all the stuff this kid is going through. Whether it be psychologically, physically. Nowadays, they probably wouldn't allow that because it'd be deemed child endangerment. Oh, well, what happened to him psychologically? What would happen to him physically? There's no way you can do this. Well, I'm like, well, if you handle it right, like everything else, there is a way to do it. There's easily a way to do it. Well, maybe not easy, but there is a way to do it where you just have to be responsible. You have to know what the fuck you're doing. Talk to the kid. Be natural to the kid. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. All that jazz. And this is my thought process on that. Oh, here you go. There you go. Now do you believe, man? Yeah, now do you believe? How's it Hayden Phil? Like, Chucky's lucky that he broke his neck. What if he didn't break his neck? Like, what if he landed and he just hurt his back or broke his leg? Chucky would be kind of fucked if you think about it. I mean, I'm just saying. He'd be a bit fucked if that was the case. But what do I know? But yeah, that's a pretty fun line, and I did nice facial stuff on Chucky, the animatronic stuff. Now, of course, no one's going to believe the kid. Why would they? This is where Andy's going to get sent away, and then Kyle will find out what's going on, and then more will be done with her as kind of a replacement for Catherine Hicks. I mean, in a way. Okay, this says 30 fun facts about Child's Play 2. I click on it, and the website doesn't want to pop up, which is fucking great. But towards the end, no one believes him. Yeah, and why would they? God, none of these fucking websites want to work, of course. Yeah, sorry I'm not saying anything. Also checking my messages. Stop doing that. Yeah, I know. Okay, I apologize. Oh yeah, this is supposed to take place in Chicago. I forgot. You forgot? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, fuck this doll. Don't fuck the doll. I mean, that happens in Bride of Chucky. Fucking the doll. But anyway. Throw your ass in the trash. Let's cut his head off, too. Or shove it up someone's ass. But I mean, I guess to mention, the first Child's Play, I think is nicely done. Tom Holland, I think, had a big hand in that. Also in the writing of the film, which Don Mancini gets all the credit for writing. I'm like, Tom Holland deserves credit as well. The casting, Catherine Hicks, Chris Sarandon, the score. I think the score is really good. I would say the first film, as I'm spitting, has the best score of all the movies, best music. Child's Play 2, again, very solid, worthy sequel. Child's Play 3, I think is underrated. Like I said, I like the military academy setting. I like Justin Whalen as the older Andy Barkley. I like the amusement park finale because I think it's a very, even though it's like the most dangerous fucking ride ever, where there's actual blades that could cut a doll's face off. I'm like, imagine what they could do to an actual face. I'm like, fuck, this is the most dangerous ride ever. They get sued within a week. But it's a fun movie. Bride of Chucky, I try to give credit when it came out, but it doesn't hold up. Like the humor, the goofiness, the silliness, fucking Jennifer Tilly, irritating, annoying. I get that they were trying to do something different compared to the first three movies, because part three a lot of people don't like. Part three a lot of people felt was tired. But maybe it's all, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Like so many of these films in the 90s that people shit on, sometimes rightfully so, sometimes, hey, just wasn't their cup of tea at that point in their life, to be honest. But then you see how much worse it gets. It's like, no, give me that. I prefer that. Let's go back to that way. And then, Bride of Chucky, very lame humor. I don't think Ronnie Yu is a bad director visually. I think he has some interesting shots and color palette. But, yeah, this... Ronnie Yu, I would say more the blame on Bride of Chucky is the script and Jennifer Tilly than the direction. So I would say it's more Don Mancini's fault as to why that film sucks, not Ronnie Yu. And then, because Don Mancini came up with the whole Bride of thing, because then he did Seed of Chucky, which was fucking horrible. And he directed that, and he directed and wrote Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, which both can suck my dick. Child's Play Reboot was cool. It bombed Sally. Then this fucking new show that I don't give a shit about. Why should I? Be the same stupid humor. Probably be another fucking book. Mark my words, sometime in that show, someone's gonna read another fucking book for dummies, but it'll be something else for dummies. That's a fucking lame running joke Don Mancini had in the films he directed. Of course, Jenny Gutter's dead. I forgot how she was killed off. Oh, I guess, strangled? Well, as a human, he was the strangler. I forget the actual term. Like he had a full title. Charles Lee Ray. The something Strangler, I forget. See, at least unlike that movie Mighty, it's a doll, it's supernatural, so at least he's trying to hide, at least he's trying to be sneaky about it, popping in and out, and maybe he's a bit faster, he's a bit stronger than you would think. You can always just pull some supernatural stuff out of your ass about it, at least. Mighty, no, this is a little kid that slowly walked up to you with a fucking hammer, or standing there with a little bow and arrow, or a slingshot. Throw a fucking book at him, and it would kill him. Fuck's sake. Stick that knife up your ass, I'll hurt you some more, Chucky, you bitch. Although, now that I think about it, if he's in a new body, wouldn't he be able to possess anybody? Because he hasn't told anybody his real name? Which they do in the third film. Not in this one. Sorry, I'm just watching the film now. And yeah, the movie, the year this came out, 1990, was a damn good year for movies. I mean, you had Total Recall, you had Die Hard 2, you had, at least for me, the 1990 Ninja Turtles film, you had Predator 2, you had The First Power, you had Exorcist 3, you had Tremors, a lot of good Adventures of Fort Fairlane, a lot of good movies to come out that year. It's a damn good one. I believe The Rookie with Clint Eastwood, and this movie. A lot of good stuff came out that year. I think Jean-Claude Van Damme had Death Warrant. Steven Seagal had Hard to Kill. Was March for Death 1990 as well? Maybe that was, I can't remember. That might have been 1990 as well. Van Damme, Death Warrant. I think Lionheart was 1990 as well. I believe so, because Double Impact was 91, I believe. Because Universal Soldier was 92. I mean, yeah, Lionheart, a lot of good stuff that year. At least to me, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm gonna have some Skittles. I'll kick your fucking teeth in, you little shit. Should've buckled up, bitch. Run his ass over. I did nice shot putting the camera there to show the impact of the car, and then the slow-mo of Chucky flying over. I don't think this is a badly directed film. Rest in peace John Lafia, who directed it. Probably what got him the job for Man's Best Friend a few years later. Actually, I should not eat. Because you just hear me go. I'll wait on that. I didn't think about that till later. Do I really want people? Yeah, listen to me go. It's like, you eating or sucking dick? No, that's her. Say hello. She'll say hello after the end of the video. See, what you don't know is I have my pants off and she is 20, clean, and fine. She's very quiet and secretive. She's been licking my balls the whole time. Want to see? Nope. Not good for YouTube. Fuck. And in this day and age of PC, it's time to just calm down and just take a joke. Take the chill pill, as they say. Did a nice job with Christine acting without having to say anything. Just her eyes, you can tell she's a bit tired, a bit worried, out of it, knowing this is a bullshit situation. Yep, it's a joke. It's funny. Did you laugh? This Chucky's an asshole. Yeah. Andy just kicked him. Go up and kick him in the fucking face. You act like you never seen a dead body before. But this is what I'm talking about, like Christina Lee sort of becomes the Catherine Hicks, the protector of Andy. Which is even more... What's the word I'm looking for? More precious, more... Not heartwarming. More prevalent in a way, in the fact that, you know, she doesn't know this kid. She's known him for a few days or a week, tops, but is going out of her way to help him out through these situations. Definitely makes you more of a heroic character. Well, the mom's a heroic character as well, but I'm just saying the fact that this is almost like a stranger to her. And then she appeared at the end of, what, Cult of Chucky? And it's like, for what? To give the nostalgia boner to people? I'm tired of nostalgia boners. Tired of any well, the only boner I care about is my own, honestly. I'm just tired of this nostalgia food. Nostalgia. You know what? I got plenty of nostalgia around the room. I'm tired of the in-jokes, and I'm tired of the... Just... It's like, that's all people... This is all that matters. Do you remember this? Yeah, do I remember when it was better? When movies were better? When the time was better? It's like, hey, remember the 80s? Yeah. Do you remember the 90s? Yeah. I'll just go watch that. Halloween 2018. This is great because it reminds you of all these other movies. Yeah, I'd just rather watch those other movies. It's old real fucking quick. If that's all you can rely on, then you don't have much. I laugh because I forgot that Chucky does the... Again, that was really nicely done by the animatronic guys. This guy is going real fucking fast to get the Chicago Sun-Times out there. He's very adamant on with his job. Get the fuck over there. He's got to get the Chicago Sun-Times. I got to get this to Roger Ebert. The fuck you doing? Get the fuck off me. Call a cop, asshole. Oh, you can't say that. That'd be too sexist. Can't call her crazy bitch. Ah, here we go. The toy factory. I had a great idea to have for your finale. Very interesting visual location inside with all of these boxes of the good guy dolls. Nice action movie moment, just in the nick of time. The score in this is pretty decent as well. I mean, I do think the score for the first one is the best, but the score in this is pretty decent. Ryan Ravel did not too bad of a job. Like that bit with the, and you hear at the very end, almost a childlike, dun, 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 dun. I can't replicate it. And of course, Chucky having to do this fucking voodoo thing that takes 44 years. Which I don't even remember in the first one, when Brad Dourif did this at the beginning of the first film, it taking this fucking long. But it doesn't matter because it's too late anyway. Which is weird because it seemed like the first film took place a lot more time period. But on second thought, when was this doll made? And to get from there to the meeting, how long has that been? So maybe technically it has been longer. You know, if I think about it. But yeah, it seems like the speech is longer than it was in the first movie. I did at the beginning of the first movie. Again, the animatronics are really on par with the great. This is what was nice back in the day, to see what new practical effect to really let people marvel at that they don't come out with next. Well, maybe it wasn't that long. Maybe I was thinking. Maybe I was thinking of another movie. Hmm. I wonder if he did that, would Andy's body then be in Chucky's? Like, would Andy's soul be in Chucky's body if it worked? And would they switch? Does that be, you know what? That'd be interesting. If Chucky did that, it worked, and the soul went to the doll, so technically that's a way to make Chucky a good guy. Where this guy is stuck in Chucky's body, but he's a good guy. But you're not technically making Chucky a good guy. Or someone is dying who's a good guy. He puts his soul into a doll, and so you have a good doll going after Chucky and being a protector. I didn't imagine like the beginning, Chucky's doing this, and the guy does what Brad Dourif did at the beginning of the first movie. He puts his soul into a doll, and so you have this good bad. I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas that I think would be more interesting than what fucking Bride or Seed or Curse or Cult were. I didn't either have. This is what I'm talking about. I love the maze of the boxes. That's really cool. Like just boxes and boxes with the good guy doll face on there. Just idea, great location. That seems like one of the things people remember the most about this movie for good. I think for good reason. But yeah, have a movie where, like I said, either Chuck it works, and then now the good person is in the Chucky doll, and how they have to maintain it, how they have to deal with it, and maybe they try to hunt Chucky in the human body down to get revenge, or so I don't know. It'd be something different. There you go. Yeah, they would not do this nowadays. Just it's too on PC. It's too mean. This child endangerment, kind of like in Halloween 5 and 4 when Daniel Harris was being chased by Michael Myers. Idea would just be deemed too horrific. And you know what's horrific? Cuties on Netflix. That's horrific. And really nice work on making really showcase the anguish on Chucky's face. That his hand's been smashed in there. Fuckers, motherfucker, fuck you, Chucky. Again, this is another nice. This is a pretty gory effect when he has to pull his fucking hand off, pretty much, where it rips off. Yeah. The tendrils, the stretching. That's probably the goriest part of the movie so far. And it's on Chucky, so I guess that's probably why the MPA let it go. Because it's on a doll, it's on the bad guy. I didn't. Nice color design on the factory as well. You have the green, red, some blue. And this whole thing here, they put the eyes down. Of course, this was just to get that death scene, which was worth it, which is how the trailer ends. At least the Red Band trailer. Which I like that trailer, because it starts with the Jack in the Box and Chucky smashes it. And all these puns that the narrator, the trailer narrator, keep an eye out. Chucky rules, and that's when he's got the ruler. That's kind of a fun trailer. And it is kind of cool to have Chucky with this knife. It's kind of like a big version of the blade from Puppet Master when he's got that knife. Yeah, this is to make you wonder, is anyone in this fucking factory? Is it, or just this one guy? Kind of weird that all is going on, you only have one guy here. Like, this is a big fucking factory. You would think with all this shit going on, there'd be one guy. Plus, how many fucking boxes of dolls do they need? Like, they got a fucking mountain full. We got this acid type of thing. Release valve, yeah, the acid. Well, whatever the hell it's called, it looks like acid to me. Hot wax. And this is a time, like, I was talking about before with makeup effects guys, they wanted to one-up each other. So you had your Gremlins 2, which came around the same time. You had Total Recall. Just like, what can we do to one-up what the previous person did? And then that stopped because CGI can be a nice tool, but that doesn't mean that's all we need and nothing else. Granted, just because a movie has practical effects doesn't automatically make it good, but it's a nice step in the right direction, in my opinion. And there are movies I like where it has CG. Deep Rising, for example. But I enjoy like the characters and the action scenes and the pacing. That's a fun film. You know, Treat Williams, among many other reasons. But yeah, this ain't gonna work out for this guy. As just like, we gotta give Chucky at least one more body count. And that's I would say that's the best death scene in the movie. Keep an eye out. You guys haven't found an exit yet? You guys are slow as fuck. Don't just stand there, run. Get to the, get the fuck out of there. I mean, you tell me you can't find a fucking control room Why are you standing and staring at this? Who gives a shit? That's to have them tell themselves and the audience what to do to Chucky later, really. I think when I first saw this, I thought this was punching into his dick, but it's not. Well, maybe it is, and I didn't realize it. But when that thing was punching holes, I thought it was punching a hole in his dick. And of course, a reference back to the middle finger. Give it to me, I give it to you, you little silly bitch. Of course, you can't have Chucky die yet, because you gotta have Andy be able to do some stuff. Because so far it's been all Christine, Alicio, Kyle that's been, got Andy out of there, slammed. She slammed the down on his hand, right? God, my memory's going. Of course, it's what's left of him. Well, the bottom half. And the only way to kill him is, can't say bad box office, because Cedar Chucky did that, and still came back direct to video. So you can't even say what kills him is bad box office. What kills them is indifference. When people are indifferent and they just don't give a shit anymore, that's what kills them. See, that's when... Now, how the hell did Chucky do that? Like, how did Chucky get this fucking guy upside down? Like, how did he do that? Like, how the fuck did Chucky do that? I have no idea how the fuck he did that. No fucking clue how Chucky tied that dead body, have him hung upside down. And this is where you needed to let Andy do something. He lit him on fire here. Melt like a milk dud, you bitch. You don't help her out, you don't just do nothing. Why are you closing it? Let it keep going. Why the fuck are you closing it? You don't work there. Let it keep flowing. It's like the multiple deaths of Chucky. They think they killed him in that machine, didn't work. You think he's dead, he's melted, doesn't work. So then blow him the fuck up. Which is a fun death scene. I enjoy it. And it worked for a while because Andy Barkley, like from this to the third film, has aged quite a few years. I mean, I don't know if it'd be 6 years, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how long it's been between the two movies. Blow his top. Nice effect, nice multiple angles for that. Blew it up like scanners. Very nicely done. I mean, it's a good way to kill your bad guy off. And when the monster is dead, the movie's over. That's pretty much how this follows. It's dead, and like the next scene is them leaving. And like I said, when the monster's dead, the movie's over. They didn't lollygag around. They didn't pussyfoot around. And, nice little triumphant music. I like the idea of having the sign almost like waving to the audience goodbye. Thanks for coming. And an hour and 20 minutes. Look at that. An hour 20 minutes. You're in and out. You're entertained. Alex Vincent, Christina Elise, Brad Dourif. Great job, especially by those three. The rest of the cast did fine as well. Rest in peace, John Lafia. I thought his direction was more than fine in this. I like some of the angles he uses. Dick Warlock, stunt coordinator, Dick Warlock was Michael Myers in Halloween 2. Ed Gale, I think he was in the suit for Howard the Duck, I believe. I'm trying to see what is the time span between 2 and 3? Sorry, I'm just checking real quick. Okay, in Child's Play 2, he was 8 years old. I think Child's Play 3, he's 16 years old, so 8 years. 8 years. But yeah, this is a worthy sequel, fun sequel. Did not do anything to damage the franchise or the series. Likeable lead characters, excellent makeup effects, like the animatronic work, and yeah, they fast-paced, short film, score's decent, direction's competent. Like I said, a very worthy sequel. And did not make a fool out of Chucky, did not make a fool of the franchise. Like I said, a nice, solid sequel. Wish there were features. I don't even know what's on. Okay, there is a trailer. That's it. No commentaries, no interviews. Which sucks. But thank Universal for that. Second unit director Kevin Yeager. So not only did he work at effects, but he was second unit director. I guess that was probably the effects crew. Second unit. Not much else I could say. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.